Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for January 3rd, 2012, and it is pretty cold out there. Temperatures are not going to be moving much from where we are right now, in fact. Temperatures range from the upper teens, actually a few mid-teens out there in the interior, up to about 30 degrees. Unfortunately, it's not getting much warmer than what we have right now. In fact, Philadelphia likely will only warm up 1 or 2 degrees more for the rest of the day, and there's actually a few snow flurries out there in Philadelphia. So yes, snow. I'll explain why there are snow flurries in Philadelphia in just a moment. But as you can see here, winds are from the northwest and from the north, and they are supporting the transport of some very cold Arctic air that will remain in place for today and for tomorrow. So if you're looking for a warm-up, wait until the end of the week. You'll warm up back to normal. But for now, we have some very cold air in place with temperatures by this afternoon ranging from the mid-20s to lower 30s. Not fun. And oh, by the way, with those winds ranging anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour, the wind chills are in the teens to lower 20s, even a few single digits. So clearly we are in a much colder weather pattern. When we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, all this is not clouds. This is actually cold air. That's right, cold air. The air is so cold that the infrared satellite picture thinks that it's clouds, which means that that's some pretty cold air. Meanwhile, notice we have some, let's just say, movement in this blue color. This is actually lake effect snow, which shows up much better on the radar, which I'll show in just a moment. But notice we're starting to see a bank of clouds setting up along the Appalachians. That's basically moisture from the Great Lakes being picked up and basically forced up along the Appalachian Mountains, producing periods of snow showers and the potential for some pretty good snowfall over portions of West Virginia. As far as the immediate coast, for the most part we're remaining high and dry with only a few scattered clouds and a few scattered snow flurries. This low pressure system, which the models earlier on a few days ago was suggesting could become a major storm, is going to remain out in the Atlantic and will not produce any snowfall or, well, any type of precipitation whatsoever for the immediate coast. But we came very close to this storm being a major problem for the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area. But that's staying out into the Atlantic. What we'll have in place is high pressure that will be in control through today, tomorrow, and into Thursday, with moderating conditions by Thursday. Now let's talk about this lake effect snow. What's happening here is that very cold air is moving over Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. Here's Lake Erie, here's Lake Ontario. So what's happening here is that the winds are so strong at the mid-levels that it's taking some of this moisture and taking it from Lake Ontario and Lake Erie and transporting it across Pennsylvania and reaching portions of the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Now, as the atmosphere becomes more unstable this afternoon, these snow showers will pop up and develop much like yesterday afternoon and produce a few scattered snow showers, possibly even a brief snow squall. Now, there won't be any accumulation from this aside from maybe a dusting here and there, but it certainly might catch you by surprise if you're driving and all of a sudden it starts to snow at a pretty good clip. So you've been warned. Watch out for a few scattered snow showers, but nothing too dramatic. Now let's take a look at the model guidance using the European model guidance once again, as it's been the most consistent model. And here we are by this evening. Again, here's our storm that really takes off well over the Gulf Stream. And you can see that there's strong disturbance associated with this. So if this was a little bit further to the west, we'd be dealing with a very impressive snowstorm. But it's not, and so we're not. As we move into Wednesday evening, our powerful storm lifts up into the Canadian Maritimes. We remain rather cold, although not as cold as today. The main difference is that the winds start to slacken off a bit, so it won't feel as cold. As we move in towards the weekend, the high pressure system shifts off the coast, and that's going to mean moderating conditions for Thursday and Friday as temperatures rebound into the 40s and eventually even a few lower 50s for portions of southern New Jersey and the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Could reach New York City too, but I'm keeping them in the upper 40s for now. by this weekend, another cold front moves through, and then things start to get very interesting in the weather pattern. See this right here? This is a polar vortex. This starts to weaken, and that's really important because this is what's been trapping all of our cold air for the most part in Canada and keeping any type of potential stormy pattern at bay. So as we move forward through this weekend, I'm expecting one area of low pressure to move through on Sunday. Now this low pressure system has to be watched for the potential for some rain snow mix on Sunday afternoon along the coast and possibly some light snow over the interior. For right now, I'm describing it as snow showers because this low pressure system and the associated disturbance is rather disorganized, but it's something to keep an eye on for this weekend. And next week, keep an eye on this storm here. This storm and this disturbance, coupled with what's going on in the polar jet stream, where we're starting to see a little bit more of a trough in the east and a ridge in the west, is going to start what I think is going to be our eventual pattern change. Yes, I know, we've heard this before, but there are a lot of indications out there physically and on the models that a major pattern change is starting to take place. It's going to be a step down process, but it is starting to take shape and it is starting to unfold. And I think this storm here is going to be the trigger to start seeing things really start to unravel, and a very interesting period of weather setting up for January and February. So that is your discussion for this morning. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. You can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpa weather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a great day and stay safe out there, and bundle up a bit. You're going to need it.